Next Level Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Week 10 of Season 18 of the Simulation Football League continues in St. Louis, where for the second time this season, two East Division foes meet up in an important contest. Can the Swarm exact some revenge for their loss earlier this season, or will the Gladiators rebound from their recent losing streak to sweep the season series? We're about to find out. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Gateway Coliseum in St. Louis. Alongside producer extraordinaire Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green in the studio, our statisticians Justin Reside and Eddie Gage, and my partner, SFL Hall of Famer Matt Wilson. I'm Tim Hackett. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Happy to have you with us. Second matchup this season between St. Louis and Atlanta. Matt, how you doing?
I'm good. Glad to be here with you, Tim.
Me too, Matt. Looking forward to joining you for the first time. Always great to be in a booth with an active SFL Hall of Famer. Matt, just a couple of weeks ago in Week 3, these two teams met up. St. Louis won for the first time in franchise history in Atlanta. Led for most of that game, bottled up the Atlanta offense. It's been a struggle for the Swarm offensively this season. What are your keys to the game here in matchup number 2?
Yeah, St. Louis needs to duplicate the game plan they used against Atlanta in Week 3. They limited the Swarm offense to only 13 points. Bryant Dynasty was held to under 200 yards passing, no touchdowns, and BDG Hollywood only averaged 3.6 yards a carry. The running game for the Gladiators also needs to step up. Last week, Florida held Cairo Martinez to just 2.8 yards a carry. For Atlanta, everything seemed to be rolling their way in the victory over Jacksonville. Dynasty had an efficient game, but it was BDG Hollywood's 125 yards rushing that really made the difference. The running game can remain strong for the Swarm, and Dynasty doesn't take too many risks. I like their chances. Who will come out on top? There's only one way to find out, and that's on the field.
The second time this year, it's ATL versus STL, and we are underway from St. Louis. The Gladiators at home wearing their dark green and blacks will get the ball to start. Atlanta in the road whites will defend. So it is a early kick return for Shane Kaufman, the rookie who St. Louis took in the first round of their most recent SFL draft. It's been a building season again for St. Louis. They started the season 2-1, that win at Atlanta in Week 3. Since then, they have lost 4 straight, including their last 3 by 13 points or more. Last week, a 30-17 loss on the road against the Florida Storm. They had a bye week in there as well. It did not change a whole lot of results. So Christian Brown to throw. First play of the game, top of the screen, and it's caught right at the sticks, and they say short for a gain of about 9.5. First play, first catch for Eagle Mondavi.
Yeah, still a nice play. First down, inches to go. Really opens up the playbook. And get Martinez, involved earlier. Second inches, hand the ball off. He doesn't get it. Still got another down to go.
Here is the St. Louis offense for head coach Andrew O'Reilly in St. Louis, which come in at 2-5. Christian Brown is the quarterback. Cairo Martinez, the tailback. Christopher Dean is the fullback. 3 wides and 2 tight ends. Brown will go under center. Atlanta packs the line. Here's the handoff right on cue. There you go, Matt. Score one for you today. It's a give to Cairo Martinez and a first down.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be dominant, but he has to pick up the yards, when necessary. And there's a situation where now you don't have to worry about a third down. Everything's reset. It's first down, and now you can just run your regular offense. I don't know if they're going to go back to Martinez here, or they're going to throw it. Could go either way with this set.
Been a struggle this season for Cairo, and so Brown will throw. Pump fake, zips it over the middle into traffic, and caught somehow for a gain of 14. A dot over the middle of the field for Christopher Dean, the fullback, out of the backfield.
Thought that was picked. Dean somehow came out of it with the ball, and Christian Brown still might want to be careful. As a quarterback myself, I wouldn't want to be throwing too many of those.
Christian Brown only threw for 227 yards last week against Florida. Christopher Dean was their second leading receiver. On the ground they go. Martinez gets the give. No gain on that play. Cree Higgins on the stop for Atlanta. Here is the rest of the Gladiator offense. A trio of wideouts. Eagle Mondavi, Paul Dillevue, the 2 4-year veterans, and the rookie Shane Kaufman. 2 tight ends, Phil Koss and Guy Clausen. So a couple of these guys have been playing together now for 4 full seasons. Martinez, Mondavi, Dillavu, and Koss all coming out of the first season of the minor leagues to join St. Louis. Brown throw right into the hands of the defender, and another interception for Christian Brown. Jay Miraculous has his first of the season. Atlanta will start at midfield.
Yeah, Miraculous read that off like a book. You think play action would throw him off, but he's just sitting there right in the zone. Runs right to the ball. It looks like it was to him. And it's not what you want if you're St. Louis, and now Atlanta's got the ball in great starting field position.
Surprisingly enough, for this Atlanta secondary, which is really solid and which has been playing together for quite some time, Miraculous was the only regular that did not have an interception this season. Everybody else had at least one, except for Don Fletcher, who's only made a handful of appearances this season. So Bryant Dynasty will start 1st and 10 from midfield, a little bit behind his intended receiver. That's the tight end Jamal Wooding, but he still makes the catch for a gain of 8.
Yeah, Wooding took a shot there, but he made a great grab, held onto the ball, and now kind of similar situation with the Gladiators, 2nd and short. Now is when I'd give Hollywood a whirl. Maybe he can bust out a big one.
Wooding did have a good game, as you can see on the bottom of your screen. 4 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown.
Yep.
8 yards for him here. First carry for BDG. Hollywood and St. Louis was ready for that one. Matt, when these two teams met up in the Hive earlier this season, it's not something we say often here in the SFL, but BDG Hollywood, for the majority of that game, did nothing. St. Louis was ready for it.
Yeah, nice job by the safety coming up and stopping Hollywood in his tracks. You'd expect some kind of spin out of him. Didn't happen, but we might be getting another crack at it right here. And St. Louis is playing way off the line.
Hollywood, the all-time leading rusher in SFL history, will get the give, and St. Louis is ready for him. History repeats early on here at Gateway Coliseum. Met in the backfield by the safety, Gerald Winkler. Loss of 2, 4th down coming up.
And if I'm the quarterback and I see that, I just audible to a run right up the middle. Took a little too long to develop, but all those guys in the backfield ran up, and one of them tackled Hollywood short of the line.
It's amazing that for an offense that has this many stars, as Chris Smith punts it away, fair catch called for and made by Shane Kaufman. For an offense with this many stars, Matt, McBryant Dynasty was an all-star last season. BDG Hollywood is already in the Hall of Fame. So is Boo Chisholm, Siege Falco, and Jamal Wooding are both great players. They're last in the league in 3rd down conversion, something you and I talked about quite a lot. 43%, dead last in the SFL. And just for context, most teams in this league are better than 55%. Atlanta at 43%. And so far today, 0 for 1. So that interception doesn't do anything for Dynasty and company. So Brown to throw on 2nd and 12. Zips it, another catch, and a gain of 12 and a 1st down for St. Louis. Nice grab by Dillavu.
Dillavu looked like he got hit by a car on that one. Another great grab. Christian Brown not making it easy on his receivers today. And, Christian, a little easier on these throws, buddy.
Putting his teammates in harm's way. Dillavu only had 14 receiving yards last week against Florida. 1st down, Brown, top of the screen this time, hauled in, and another nice game through the sky for the Gladiators.
Yeah, Atlanta was playing way off, and that's a recipe for disaster on those short routes to the fullback. Hashtag throw it to the fullback, as Mike likes to say. And, this time the fullback held on and made a nice grab. And, again, St. Louis is in a pretty good spot to, again, try to get Cairo involved. Even if it's a dump down pass, see what Atlanta comes out with and counter it. And,
Usually when we say give it to the fullback, we usually mean on the ground. How about 2 catches for 22 already for D?
There you go.
Brown will throw it out of the backfield again. That's to Cairo Martinez, and a 1st down for St. Louis.
And like I said, that's just what the doctor ordered. I said get Martinez involved either on the ground or through the air. And, Atlanta was all bunched up in a 4-3. So bottom of the screen wide open, give it to Martinez, gets the 1st down. St. Louis's drive continues.
Cairo has not been very efficient running the ball this season, but he is very active catching the ball, better than 50 catches on the balance of the season. That is a top 25 mark in the SFL, not just among running backs, among all players. His first catch, they would go right back to him, and Atlanta was ready for that one. Met right at the line by the cornerback, Jack Napier. No gain.
Yeah, this time Atlanta's like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Well, they were not fooled.
Stop right at the line by Jack Napier is in his 2nd season playing again for Atlanta, where he started his career, 6th overall season in the SFL. So now from the holster set with the running back to either side, Brown lost it and a one-handed catch across the 40-yard line and into enemy territory. Eagle Mondavi soars up and makes the grab.
Yes, the Eagle has landed. Again, Brown not making it easy for his receiver. Eagle had to go up, use all of his wingspan. Whoop! One-handed grab in the middle of the field, but still nice execution by St. Louis, and they are moving the ball quite well on this drive.
Davi was really St. Louis's only source of offense a week ago against Florida. 6 catches for 115 yards and a touchdown. Fantastic day, but really nobody else on the offense showed up and scored 17 points in that 30-17 loss. Another win for the Storm. They'll toss it out of the backfield here as Martinez nearly shakes a tackle, but he's somehow brought down by J. Rock, who had a good game last week for Atlanta, and he's able to stop Martinez for a gain of just 8.
Nice blocking by the receiver. I couldn't catch the number, but he helped seal that block, and Martinez got another 4 or 5 yards because of it.
See at the bottom of your screen, your drive summary. This will be the 7th play of the drive. 5 of them have been passes, so they're speaking right to your strategy, Matt Wilson. They're throwing it to the tailbacks, though, so keeping them involved.
Nice.
There's another short pass. Phil Koss, the tight end, has his first catch of the game, and St. Louis is inside the red zone.
They are moving the ball with surprising efficiency. Again, just a wonderful call based on the defense. And that's what you got to do. You can't just keep hurling it to the skies, hoping that your receiver will make a play. You got to, it's a chess game against the defense, and right now St. Louis is winning it.
Brown has spread it out extremely well as Cameron Irvine reading my thoughts. 5 different pass catchers already for Brown. This is just their second drive. 5 minutes left in the quarter. Into traffic. That was risky and right into the hands of Aquantis Shine. A surprising non-interception, but St. Louis dodges a bullet.
Yeah, Shine's been around for a while, and I guess, it's not for his hands. That's why they play linebacker and not receiver, folks.
And those 2 linebackers for Atlanta were money when these 2 teams met up in ATL earlier this season. Cree Higgins and Aquantis Shine, 56 and 58 in the Atlanta White. They both had 13 tackles in that game. They've both been involved already in this one. What does St. Louis do here? Here's a run play to Martinez. The fullback gets the first block, and Martinez is able to pick up 13 yards. Excellent team run. Nice gain for Cairo, stopped by Napier.
Yeah, that was all Martinez. He broke the tackle there, turned on the Jets, and now St. Louis, 1st and goal for about the 4-yard line, 5-yard line, and 6-yard line. Close enough. And, we aren't good at math here, Mike and I, so get used to that. But, again, St. Louis has to be careful. Don't be throwing it too much deep in the end zone. Not much space.
Brown has thrown 20 interceptions now this season after his first one today. He will throw into traffic and through the hands, really, of Phil Koss. Exactly what you said not to do, Matt, but St. Louis, again, able to dodge a bullet there on 1st down.
I don't like that. They kept the backs back to block instead of flaring out. I love when the backs flare out of the gun. It gives your quarterback more options. You can throw a dump down, but he only had 3 options, and they were all covered.
Both of these 2 running backs have 2 catches already today. So do you try to utilize them here?
Watch the bottom of the screen. Maybe a nice out.
Soft coverage there against Delavu. They will run it instead to Martinez, and he's only able to get a couple. Stopped up by the veteran defensive tackle Joshua Williams.
Well, he got halfway there, but you would have liked to have seen that play on 1st down. Now on 3rd and goal from the 3. I would think you'd want to pass it with Martinez's average. Just hit him in a little screen if they're bunched up like you did last time. But we'll see. They could do either in this set.
Offset I formation and 2 below. Christian Brown, they will run it. Martinez trying to surge forward and nothing doing. Atlanta rises to the challenge. Miraculous with that stop, as well as Cree Higgins off the bottom of the pile. No gain for Cairo, and now it's 4th down.
Yeah, you just like that sequencing to be a little better, the run on 1st down. And then if he got halfway there, you run him on 2nd down. Maybe you're looking at, a 1 or a 2-yard situation instead of a 3. And then maybe you do something else. But Martinez looked a little tired, too, on that. So, field goal's better than nothing.
Down. And so Bobby Ray Beauchamp, the rookie undrafted free agent, will knock it through from 19 yards. And to your point, Matt, it really was kind of weakness against strength in that situation. This season, Atlanta has only given up 5 rushing touchdowns through 7 games. That's 5th fewest in the league. St. Louis has only scored 3 rushing touchdowns this season. That is tied for fewest in the league with 2 other teams. So even from short yardage situations, their running game has not been their strength this season. They tried to go to it twice on 2nd and goal from the 6, and Atlanta stopped them both times.
Yeah. Just about sequencing your plays a little bit differently, but they scored first.
St. Louis does indeed break the scoreboard first. 13 plays, 85 yards. Remember, that was after that punt, after the interception thrown by Brown, and did not cost St. Louis at all. And then it ends up in a 19-yard field goal by Bobby Ray Beauchamp, his 13th made kick this season. So now the second possession for Bryant Dynasty, who is quickly ascended to become a superstar here in the SFL, but he's in the midst of his worst season so far. A quarterback rating just north of 69. Here goes BDG Hollywood. Best carry of the game for him, and a gain of 7 stopped by Mark Gronick, the linebacker.
And again, that's what St. Louis wants to shut down Hollywood. He kind of forced Dynasty to throw because he's thrown a lot of picks this season. And so that's a good start for Atlanta. See if they go back to Hollywood, and then, oh boy. Yep, watch out for the off-tackle run on this one, boys.
Bring in 2 fullbacks, and St. Louis counters with only 4 guys on the line. Here you go. Hollywood hurdles the first wave and then somehow is able to get to the first down. I mean, that setup looked like it favored Atlanta, Matt, as you've called, but, I mean, St. Louis got some good pressure, just couldn't make the play.
Yeah, well, Hollywood bounced it inside instead of outside where there was more room. But you know what? He did get the first down, and that's the most important thing. And now, well, I think Hollywood's off for this one.
Back-to-back runs to him, and so first time we're seeing this setup today for Atlanta. 4 wides and 1 tailback for Dynasty. Fresh set of downs. As all day, throws, and that could have been big. That could have been a pick 6 for Nicholas Warner. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Yeah, Dynasty's got to avoid that, and now 2nd and 10. If I'm Atlanta, give Hollywood a carry because I don't want to see 3rd and 10.
Oh, that spells trouble for Atlanta the way this season has gone. You mentioned Dynasty's thrown a lot of picks, but they've all come recently. He only threw 4 interceptions through the first 3 weeks of the season. That was the best in the league, but over their last 4 games, 13 interceptions for Dynasty. Deep drop on the play action, fires, and out of the hands of Boo Chisholm, who was hit immediately as he was trying to haul it in, and there is 3rd and down for the 3rd and 10 for this Atlanta offense.
It wasn't a bad throw. They just, it was a simultaneous hit. Boo couldn't hold on, and now what has Atlanta got in store for 3rd and 10? You better get all the receivers out there.
Chisholm, this team's top wide receiver yet again. 43 catches, 470 yards, but only 1 touchdown to his name this season. 3rd and 10. Dynasty guns it over the middle, and it's caught somehow. First down to the St. Louis 45-yard line. A dot to Ryan Roosevelt.
Yeah, that's the play St. Louis ran at the goal line. You only have 3 receivers there, but a nice slant route and a nice pitch and catch from Dynasty to Roosevelt. And midfield go to Swarm. And they converted on 3rd down.
Sure did on 3rd down and 10, no less. And they get 20 through the air to Ryan Roosevelt, their number 3 wide receiver, last year's first-round pick. So Hollywood gets a little bit of a breather after those last 2 plays, relatively speaking, I guess. 2 back set, they will give it to Mitchell O'Brien, the fullback, his first carry today, and just his 9th this season. Nice pickup for him, gain of 6.
Yeah, that's, again, giving Hollywood more rest. If your fullback can get 6 yards on first down, I'll take that any day of the week.
Did not have a single carry when these 2 teams played in Atlanta in week 3. Did have 1 catch for 6 yards. That time a rush for 6 yards for the 5th-year fullback, O'Brien. Other new formation here. They will stretch it outside. Hollywood is all day outside, and a nice pickup out to the 27.
They caught St. Louis on a 3-3, which is definitely a defense you want to run against. Hollywood got past the 1st and 2nd line of defenders, and luckily one of the linebackers was able to make a tackle there. And but still, Atlanta moving the ball much better on this drive.
Keenan Samuels, the new acquisition among the St. Louis linebacker core, joining the holdovers Rodney Panani and Mark Gronick, third team in 3 seasons for Keenan Samuels, who was an SFL champion last year with the Baltimore Vultures. From the 27, Dynasty over the middle. That's caught, and another nice gain on this drive for Atlanta. As you said, Matt, this offense has finally started to wake up. First catch today for Boo Chisholm.
Yeah, Mike could be happy about that. Got to throw it to those tight ends. Actually, Boo is a wide receiver. What am I thinking? Well,
he's big enough. Sure looks like it.
Yeah, he looks like a tight end.
6'4",
Again,
210.
Look at this set.
They will run it again, trying to stretch it outside, and, well, just good enough that time. Samuels again makes the stop. Hollywood gets the carry. Here is the offense for Atlanta. Well, I guess we'll introduce you to them in the second quarter because we're already done with one here at Gateway Coliseum. A field goal from Bobby Ray Beauchamp is it. St. Louis trying to sweep the season series and get off the schneid and stay alive in the playoff picture. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. Welcome back to Gateway Coliseum in St. Louis alongside Hall of Famer Matt Wilson. I'm Tim Hackett. St. Louis with a 3-0 lead, but Atlanta in the red zone for the first time today. Again, they go play action. Dynasty gets clobbered. First sack today for St. Louis, and a big loss on first down, courtesy of Matthew Halford.
Yeah, well, he came around the edge. Just pure power right there. Dynasty had nowhere to go. The jaws of life were closing in on him. Mike would say they save people, but I don't know. They're jaws. They scare me.
That sounds dangerous. Well, Atlanta, for all of their struggles offensively this season, as we've outlined already, they do not give up a ton of sacks. Only 10 this season through 7 games. They did give up 2 to St. Louis when these two teams played earlier. First belongs to the Gladiators. Dynasty trying to right the ship. Hollywood gets smashed. St. Louis again is ready to prevent a Hollywood blockbuster. Raul Gerlaw makes that hit.
He threw his whole body into Hollywood, and luckily Hollywood's okay, but you don't want to take too many of those. And now 3rd and 19. I don't blame them if they don't convert on a 3rd and 19. Just don't turn the ball over.
You got to give Sammy Steele the opportunity to hit a field goal and tie this game up, for sure. This is well within his range. Deep drop, though, for Dynasty. Look out. He's going to zip it, lost it all, and nearly throws an interception, but nearly throws a touchdown as well. Ryan Roosevelt had one last week for the Swarm, not this time, just a little bit overthrown on one-on-one coverage, and now it is 4th down.
Yeah, a little more risky maybe than I'd like, but I didn't see what Dynasty was seeing there, but hey, at least they get a chance to tie this game up.
Sammy Steele will be the one to do the honors. One of the best kickers in the SFL over the last couple of seasons. He is 14 of 14 on his kicks so far here in season 18. Snap down in the hold from Rod Harris, and the kick from Steele is good from 42, and we're tied up at 3 apiece.
Yeah, plenty of leg on that one. But you know what? It's a low-scoring game, and that's the way St. Louis wants it. So credit for the defense. You know, bend but don't break, as we sometimes say. And so far, both defenses, they've done that pretty well so far.
Eddie Gage, the defensive whiz, as we know, telling us from the stat truck, the safety knocked the receiver off his route, the receiver being Ryan Roosevelt. Otherwise, that was a TD. So maybe a little bit of contact before the ball was in the area, according to a guy who knows a thing or two about defending the open part of the back of the field, Eddie Gage. Turn coming from Shane Kaufman, and he gets to the 22-yard line. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and a role-playing game into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the SFL, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. I don't know what it is about those URLs, Matt. They always slip me up. It's the easiest part of any read, and it always gets me. Here's Cairo Martinez, his first carry of the second quarter, and his best carry of the game, a gain of 12 for Cairo Martinez. Look at that average, better than 5.2 for a guy who is last in the league in running back average.
Yeah, just there's the DT collapsed. The hole was wide open. Martinez took it and then got a little extra on the end, which is always nice. You always want to see your running backs finish strong. And again, I just feel like if St. Louis can mount some kind of running / screen swing pass game with Martinez, it's going to help them out a lot.
Same number of plays on those two scoring drives, but the drives looked a whole lot more different. Atlanta rebounds that time, trying to stretch it with Martinez, and Joshua Williams lays down the lumber, no gain.
It's a lot of beef. It's one of my old country buffet boys. That's why they're no longer in business.
6'4", 305, eighth-year defensive tackle Joshua Williams, one of the best in the business. Had 9 tackles for loss on the season before today. Here's a give on second down, and again they run right into the thick of the defense with Dean. He gets his first carry today. And yeah, guess who is right? Williams back-to-back plays. They call him Swole here in Atlanta, and to your point, Matt, I mean, you see why.
Again, that's why the buffets went out of business. He was hungry for more. So now at this third down, hungry for a sack perhaps. We'll see what Christian Brown can do, but don't want to throw a pick at this side of the field.
Something that he has done before in his career, but wide open this time. Easy does it for Brown across midfield, and another third down conversion for St. Louis, and it's the fullback, Christopher Dean, who has another catch.
Where did he come from? I don't. Yeah,
minor
Dean,
leagues.
Big play Dean here. I mean, there's nobody there, and that's something Atlanta I don't think expected to happen is, Christopher Dean, one of your leading receivers so far.
They should have expected it to some extent. He was their second leading receiver last week against Florida. 3 catches for 47 yards, trailing only Mandavi in terms of receiving yards. Brown will loft it up. Right into the basket it goes. Beautifully done from Brown. Phil Koss is there behind Chris Henry. Another big play. Gain of 24 and another first down.
Yeah, I thought he underthrew him, but he just threw it right in the basket. You know, those old drills at the combine, right, where they want you to right in there. And it was just a great throwing catch. And again, St. Louis's offense is looking good. They just got to punctuate it with a touchdown instead of a field goal.
Now from the 25, Brown looks, surveys, and now he will find Martinez. Short gain that time for Martinez, and gives us time to introduce the Atlanta Swarm defense for head coach Mark Chisholm. The line, Chris Porter, Joshua Williams, Leo Jefferson, Billy Ray Valentine. Linebackers, Aquantis Shine, Cree Higgins, and Diamond Blackwell. And the secondary, corners, there's 4 of them. Jay Miraculous, Jay Rock, Jack Napier, and Don Fletcher. And the safeties, Moose Papineau and Chris Henry, who are in their 4th season as the backfield tandem for Atlanta. After a gain of 4, Brown traffic again. There were 2 Swarm defenders and a vigorous shake of the arms for the rookie Diamond Blackwell.
Yeah, I think he has some better options available. Maybe not past the first down sticks, but you don't have to worry about that on second down. Just get a completion, get some more yards. Maybe your receiver can break it. But in 3rd and 6, now you do have to throw it past the markers generally, unless there's a lot of field.
Talked about Atlanta not being good on third downs this season. St. Louis, not the same. 68% conversion rate on third down, best in the league. Already converted one on this drive, and they've got another one. Into double coverage, Brown finds Eagle Mundavi. First and goal coming up.
Yeah, they had an opening at the top of the screen. Brown went a little bit more contested throw there, but again, gets the first down. Only problem is it's from the 8-yard line. So, I'd like to see him give Martinez a little screen pass here. It'd be nice, but I think he's just going to maybe just run him up the middle.
First and goal from the 6 in their first opportunity. Here is Martinez. Atlanta stops him at the goal line. Gain of 7 and no further. We just talked about those two longtime partners, Papineau and Henry, the two safeties. They were both there to stop Cairo from getting a touchdown.
And they stop him so far, but again, here's where you'd like to see a little trickery. Not a pass, but maybe some kind of screen set up here. Because look, there's no one at the bottom of the screen.
Split backs. Both teams will pack it in from the goal line. Here's the carry. Up the middle they go. Touchdown, St. Louis. The Gladiators strike first. Their first touchdown today, courtesy of Cairo Martinez. His 4th rushing touchdown of the season.
Yeah, I called him out at the beginning of the game, and so far he's delivered pretty well. Gets his team on the board, and Atlanta's going to have to respond.
That was all they really needed on that situation, right,
yes.
Matt? I mean, it just continued to pound it up, and they spread it out. They ran Dean, the fullback, pushed him out wide into the flats, maybe drew the eyes a little bit, and that left enough for Cairo to push through.
And again, I said they had to turn, they needed a touchdown, not a field goal on these great drives, and they delivered right there. So hats off to St. Louis for a great drive.
10 plays, 77 yards. They split it out nicely. 5 runs, 4 passes. Backed off by that 1-yard rushing touchdown from Cairo Martinez.
Yeah, I really believe in balance in this league, unless you're Baltimore.
But you and I were talking about that a little bit earlier today, and that has not been the philosophy so far for St. Louis. So, I mean, to your point, maybe that's a reason why they've slipped to a 2-5 record so far this season. But they are 2-1 pass to run on average this season, which is pretty crazy. I mean, Atlanta, for contrast, is pretty much exactly 1.5 times as many passes as runs. But on average, St. Louis attempts 43 passes per game and 20 total runs per game between Martinez and Dean. That's on the balance of the season, and today, a lot more even.
Yeah, and that's going to throw defenses off. They're going to scheme for the pass. So if you start running it a bunch, they don't know what hit them.
16 pass attempts, 11 rush attempts for St. Louis as we play on here in the second quarter. Gladiators lead for the second time. Bryant Dynasty to throw. It's a short one, and a sliding catch is made by Siege Falco, his first grab today.
Yeah, the veteran helps his quarterback out there. You might have to throw him a little low, and sometimes the receivers have to really dig. And he dug one out nicely there to Falco. And now, get up. Here comes the Hollywood Express.
And a couple of extra guys in the back. That's DJ Bandit, the tight end, helping lead the way. The give to Hollywood. St. Louis was ready for that one. Mark Cronick with the stop.
Yeah, this time they head up the middle. And kind of a dive play. Didn't work. 3rd and 4. This is where we're going to see where the Atlanta's coaching staff is thinking. Are they thinking run or are they thinking pass?
Can't imagine that Atlanta. Oh, sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
Well, this set they could do either or.
They will run it. Here's Hollywood. Oh, gaping hole for Hollywood. That's how you get a first down. Colin Douglas there to make the tackle, but BDG with a 3rd down conversion all by himself.
And there you go. St. Louis, playing a 3-2, thinking, it's going to be a pass. Well, look at that hole. I could have driven through that, and I can barely run.
You and me both, man. Don't worry. Here's Hollywood with a nice, look at that. Brilliantly done. They set it up differently than that second down play, Matt, and
that was a disaster.
They're still able to pull it off. It's impressive. 8 carries unofficially for 32 yards for Hollywood, an average of 4 per tote. Usually averages about 4 1/3. Middle of the pack season for BDG so far. Here's the carry, and that's going to help things. A huge gain of about 16 yards, stretching out left tackle BDG Hollywood into enemy territory.
Yeah, it feels like both running backs are heating up now. Hollywood taking that one off tackle again, and look at the blocking. Oof. Just waited for the blocking to develop and got every single yard he could. Did Hollywood on that play. And now, again, wide open playbook. Looks like they're going to give him a little rest.
Well, to me, it's not a surprise that Atlanta tries to go through Hollywood, which, I mean, not a surprise at all when you've got the best running back in league history on your team, but Dynasty will throw, tipped, and spotted on the out route, looking for Chisholm. Rodney Panani, the linebacker, makes that play. But my point, Matt, is that St. Louis as a defense, they've given up the 5th fewest total yards in the league through 7 weeks, but they're second against the pass. Only one team has allowed fewer passing yards through 7 weeks. They average 235 passing yards allowed, but they're 17th against the run. They were the number 1 rush defense last year, but just 17th this year. So between the two options, you would think that running it against St. Louis would be the better option, especially when you have BDG. But they will throw it here on 2nd and 10. Pump fake from Dynasty. And again, swatted. Back-to-back swats from St. Louis. Is that Panani again? That's back-to-back for the middle linebacker.
Yeah, 3-3 defense this time. And again, that's made to stop the pass. So now you're playing right into where St. Louis wants you, 3rd and 10. Dynasty again. Got to mind his P's and Q's. It's not there. Punt isn't the end of the world.
This is way outside of even Steele's field goal range here from the St. Louis 44. They'll spread it out. Dynasty, a deep drop. Pressure, fires wide open. First down and a gain of 22 on 3rd and 10. Honus Adobe, the rookie, with just his 8th career catch. That's a big one.
Yeah, great job by the O-line there. Holding up. And just a great, wide open, middle of the zone grab there by Adobe. And here we go. Now Atlanta's responding. They're moving the ball well themselves. And look at Hollywood. If Hollywood's averaging 5 yards a carry, that's bad news for your defense.
No kidding. Again, he averages about 4.25 yards per carry on the balance of the season, which is middle of the pack. He does have 7 rushing touchdowns, though, which is top 10 in the league. On the 22, Dynasty. Again, there was some hold up there. Yeah, they were right on top of each other, Matt. And that's Roosevelt, the intended receiver. Didn't get a number on the defender, but, they were tied up again.
Yeah, ref 69 or 60, whatever his name is.
Promotion.
Yeah, whichever referee or field judge was on the field missed that one. Ref 62.
If Eddie Gage was right, then maybe they've missed 2 today. But either way, no call there in 2nd and 10. They'll pack it in again. Hollywood tries to go outside, and St. Louis responds. Every time BDG breaks something, it seems St. Louis is there for a response. That was a big one. 49 Samuels and 39 Douglas, both there, loss of 2.
Yeah, they got him moving east to west instead of north and south, and eventually the Gladiators swarmed.
A swarm.
Yeah, the Gladiators swarmed. Wrong team.
I'm confusing myself. I thought North by Northwest was the Hollywood blockbuster, not East by West. But I can do bad jokes too, Matt. Don't worry. 3rd and 12 now from the 24. Atlanta trying to respond after St. Louis scored the game's opening touchdown.
Only one deep safety. Look out.
Dynasty will target it to the end zone. He goes. Touchdown. Atlanta answers right back. Ryan Roosevelt. No contact that time. Touchdown, Atlanta.
I saw it. There was one deep safety. Bryant Dynasty saw it, and he delivered a strike. Look at that. There's nobody back there. Oof. The safety, Douglas, at the end, tried to reach out, but not to be.
Was Warner the only guy in the territory?
Warner,
Former linebacker. Only guy back there defensively for St. Louis, and Atlanta strikes. Really, you called it right from the jump, Matt. That was the target, and Dynasty, look, only his 7th passing touchdown this season, but you know that he's good for a play like that, and a quarterback rating north of 100 so far in this game. PAT from Steele is good, and we are tied up at 10 apiece.
Yeah, when you see one deep safety and all of a sudden it's a 7-step drop, hold your breath for that one safety.
Try to set a quarter blitz is what Eddie Gage was telling us. Part of the reason why there was that extra opening there in the backfield, right?
Yeah, I don't like it. I just figure you just play coverage with a guy that's thrown that many interceptions.
Roosevelt, his second touchdown of the season, second straight game with the touchdown for the second-year wide receiver. Kaufman trying to get a return, and he drops the ball. It's loose at the 20-yard line and picked up by the Swarm. Jack Burton's got it on the fumble from the rookie kick returner Kaufman.
Yeah, he coughed it up, unfortunately. Maybe not the name you're looking for, returning kicks, but he's deep in his own end zone, takes it out. Everything looks like business as usual. It starts going sideways, bounces off of man, and then 37 there. That's J-Rock with the hit, and nice recovery.
It's the backup Burton that is able to get the ball. Well, happy birthday to Bryant Dynasty. He's not a year older, but he will start this drive from the 20-yard line. They were just on the 25-yard line a minute ago. Here they'll go. Flip it out to Hollywood. Sidestep from Hollywood, but nothing doing there. Nice defense from St. Louis. Quickly, here is the Gladiator defense. The line. Haven't heard from them at all today except for that one sack. Tom Tanner, Max Knight, Mike Ballot, Matthew Halford, the linebackers. Rodney Panani, Mark Gronick, Keenan Samuels. The secondary, they also have 4-star corners. Colin Douglas, Ralger Law, David Leathers, and Mark Kaufman. And the safeties are Nicholas Warner and Geralt Winkler. As we've reached the 2-minute warning, in St. Louis, back and forth we go. The team's trading field goals and now trading touchdowns. It's 10-10. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. St. Louis and Atlanta locked in a good game for the second time this season. Tim Hackett and Matt Wilson here with you live from Gateway Coliseum. Atlanta in the red zone. Dynasty zipped it to the sideline. We've seen this a lot already in this game, Matt. Somehow that time Dynasty is able to link up with Boo Chisholm.
It's like he's rolling the dice and he's not getting snake eyes ever. Wonder if that's going to change in the second half, but for now it's working. 3rd and 2. To me, it's Hollywood time. But St. Louis has done a decent job of stuffing him on 3rd and short. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Holster set again. And 2 wides for Dynasty. Under 2 minutes to go. The snap. Dynasty to the end zone. Out of the hands of Falco. There was another man who was open down the left seam, Matt, but they went to the right. Falco, who's their leading receiver with 2 touchdowns this season, couldn't get number 3 because he was defended very well.
Yeah, Dynasty, let's just try to throw it up to your number 1 guy and hope he makes the play. You know what? The ball was in his hands, so I can't fault him for that throw. It was a difficult catch, but you know what? The quarterback catches in the hands, you got to bring it in.
two safeties that we've talked about already in this game for St. Louis, Warner and Winkler. They were both there.
Pump the brakes.
They're going to go for it?
Well, they're going to try. They're going to see.
What do you think, Matt? Veteran quarterback in this league. Do you go for it, or is this a bait and switch with 10 seconds?
Yeah, I bait and switch. I want my lead going into halftime. Nobody move.
There you go. We call it the bait. Well, at least I call it. I don't know if anybody else does. The bait and switch here in the Simulation Football League, where they never think about running a play, and it's just a hard count all the way from Bryant Dynasty. But St. Louis holds the line, and that'll force a field goal.
Well, and it's 2 yards to go, right? If it's inches, different situation. But 2 yards, that's a long 2 yards.
Yeah.
And I said, they want to go into lead with, the half with the lead, but look at the clock and look at the timeout situation for St. Louis. Plenty of time for them to get in field goal range, at least themselves.
No doubt about that. St. Louis has to wait and see if they'll even face a deficit. But again, Sammy Steele been perfect so far this season, nearly perfect in his career. Take their time. Oh, poor snap.
Oh, no.
And the kick from Steele. Wow, we set it up, and it just like that, suddenly it was a lot dodgier than we expected, but Steele comes through. He's now 16 of 16 on the season, 2 of 2 today, and Atlanta
Look at that.
for the first time.
The big man came through and almost blocked the kick. I'm surprised he got it around that. Even nudged into Steele. He's got to learn how to take a flop as a kicker. You get even down and go, oh, roughing.
Well, on that drive, remember, it started at the 20-yard line because of the dropped kick return from Kaufman. Atlanta is only able to progress the ball 8 yards, and they settle for 3 points on a drive when they started on the 20-yard line.
Oh, no, look out,
Kaufman will get it here. Ooh, and he just is able to get to the 20-yard line and hold on to the ball that time. Have you checked out video content produced by our community lately? Catch the SimPod every week, SFL Crunch Time, and Road to Glory every Wednesday night. SFL Nights with AJ Stryker premieres Thursday nights. Say It With Your Chest airs Fridays, and NETMA can be seen all week long at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Every week, the live show schedule can be accessed through our Discord server at the top of the channel listing. Just look for the Events tab. So St. Louis now trailing for the first time today. Here's the give to Christopher Dean, who is working on a career game, Matt Wilson. A gain of just 2 that time, but his big day continues.
Yeah, I don't like the play call, though. That's like waving the white flag saying, well, we're going to see what we get, but you gotta try. You got to try to work the sidelines, throw an out for 4 or 5 and stops the clock. I don't know. We'll see if they run Martinez or if they actually try to throw something.
I'm stunned by that too. They will throw, but out of the flats,
there you go.
Has it again, sidestep, but he won't get there.
Oh.
Miraculous stopped him short of the line. Shine helps him out. It's a gain of just about 6 for Christopher Dean.
That'd be a great call again on first down, or not the worst call, but now you got to worry if you're St. Louis. If you don't get the first down, you punt the ball back to Atlanta with pretty good field position, and who knows what they're going to do with the ball.
I'm surprised Atlanta didn't use a timeout.
Yeah, I think both teams are kind of not sure.
Still kind of feeling it out despite this being the second matchup of the season.
Oh!
Martinez shakes a man after making the catch. Diamond Blackwell is able to make the tackle, but Martinez is able to get the first down. And yeah, there is the first timeout. It comes from St. Louis, though, so maybe does that change the calculus at all?
Yeah, for St. Louis is calling it. Now you got to see, would think some more aggressive sets. Let's see what they come out with. Out of the huddle, they have. Yeah, they have 3 wides. So
it took them a minute to get 15 yards.
Yeah, they got to get more than they got to get like 20 in about 5 or about 10.
Brown will throw. And,
God!
That hit. Phil Koss was wide open, but unfortunately, he was standing on the sidelines, Matt.
Yeah, maybe he thought he was an eligible receiver. I don't know what happened on that. Did somebody get interfered with again? I didn't catch the number, but it's been a rough game for the receivers.
No kidding, and they've been roughed up a little bit as well. If that's at least what they would tell you, and if we've got a safety in our stat truck telling us that they've been roughed up, then maybe that's telling you something. From the 35, Brown pumps, fires, caught.
Timeout! Oh, no.
Field, and no timeout coming.
They're going to waste about 10 seconds easy.
St. Louis has 2 timeouts in the reserve. Now Brown will snap it from the 49. Same play, same result. First down to the 32, and there you go. Gain of 17, and the second timeout for St. Louis.
Well, again, this is why I'm not a coordinator. They're now in field goal range with those 2 straight plays. Same play, same receiver, was up wide open twice, and Dillavu there with a nice grab twice. And now they're in field goal range, just like that. So now I wouldn't take any risks. Just throw it out, see what you can get. Don't try a bomb to the middle of the field, for the love of God.
Got to get this is fringes of field goal range for Beauchamp. Remember, he is a rookie, and rookies cannot make kicks as deep as others can in this league. Down over the middle, and that was almost right on cue in a bad way.
That's what I said not to do.
They didn't hear the word "not."
Yeah, I'm only yelling it from the top of the stadium, I guess. Yeah, I need a megaphone next time.
Swirling winds in St. Louis picked it up and took your call away from the headset of Christian Brown, I guess.
Uh-oh. I believe...
Yeah, that's it. Mondavi was on the sideline.
I believe St. Louis is kicking into the wind, too. Oh, this is going to be an iffy field goal. We'll see.
And Beauchamp, again, is a rookie. He's just 13 of 15 this season after his made kick earlier this afternoon. This one from about 50, and it's good, officially from 49. Bobby Ray Beauchamp drills it. We are tied at 13.
That's what we call a squeak. Looked like it was running. Look at this. Running out of gas. Oh, he just cleared that. Not another yard more. Would have been no good.
Good from 49. Would have been good from
49.
I'm stunned by that decision, Matt. I thought for sure St. Louis had at least one more play to run, but like you said for Atlanta, you just want to get those 3 points. And St. Louis said, look, we just want to get those 3 points. We're going to go into halftime tied.
Maybe. Kick.
Yep, and we've seen a lot of things happen on these. Roosevelt, not a lot there this time. Coming up in the 8 p.m. Music Halftime Report, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green have the highlights from games earlier in the SFL today, plus update you on the action going on in Oklahoma between the Jacksonville Kings and the Tulsa Desperados, part of our bonus coverage here today on Next Level Sports. It's all coming up on the 8 p.m. Music Halftime Report in just a couple minutes. So how aggressive does Atlanta get here, Matt?
It looks pretty aggressive to me. We'll see.
Hollywood's been known to break off plays like this himself. They will stretch it, Hollywood, and no breaking off here. Still a nice run for the last play of the first half. Back and forth we go. We trade field goals, we trade touchdowns, and now we trade field goals again. We're tied up at 13 after one half. Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green with the halftime report. That's next here on Next Level Sports.
Welcome to the APM Music Halftime Report along with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine. We've got a tie ball game, 13-13 at the half. Mike, we had a sneaky suspicion St. Louis was not just going to lie down and take it here over the last rough few weeks of play, and they've really shown up and come to play here against Atlanta.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Cam. Actually, both teams, they're playing like squads that, hey, we want to try to improve our playoff positioning, and we definitely want to stay in the playoff hunt, and it's showing on the field right now from both squads. And St. Louis, they have really looked solid in this first half. The defense has played well, and they've gotten enough out of Cairo Martinez and on offense to put enough points on the board. If not for a Shane Kaufman fumble, I'm sorry, on the kickoff return, they would probably be up right now at halftime.
Yeah, St. Louis dominating the yardage, as Matt Wilson pointed out to us in the break. But the game is tied, and the score is ultimately what matters. We had a couple games, Mike, earlier today in matinee action in the SFL. It's been a part of a triple header of action. We started in Fort Worth with the Fort Worth Toros taking on the Los Angeles Lycans. Fort Worth 2-6 coming into the game. Los Angeles 3-5. But the two teams trending in opposite directions, and they really played like it today, as you'll see here on these highlights.
Yeah, Cam, definitely trending in opposite directions. Fort Worth, they've struggled coming out of the gate. I think if I remember correctly, they were 0-5 to start this season off, and they've really turned things around the past couple of weeks, and done a great job of keeping themselves in the playoff hunt. We see right there is Jason Williams with a huge touchdown run. He's really come on strong here in the past few weeks, and it's showing in their record.
Williams was something else, but Mike Twinscrew was something else. Stephen Hacker kind of got to take a day off. Twinscrew caught that first pass there on that drive on this highlight, and Twinscrew over 100 yards, 10 grabs. I mean, he was exceptional. He's the type of secret weapon that this Toros offense has been looking for.
Yeah, Mike Twinscrew coming over as a free agent in offseason, Cam, from Portland, and we really hadn't from Louisiana, but we really hadn't heard a whole lot from him over there in Fort Worth so far this season, and it was great to see him, get off a little bit, put some numbers up, and the balance that Fort Worth is showing right now is a huge reason why they've turned things around.
J.L. Browning was outstanding. There's a jump on fourth down that kept the drive alive. That was J.Z. Bacon. He would get plenty of carries as this one would get ugly quickly. But Fort Worth, J.L. Browning, 2 interceptions. And overall, the Toros had 6 picks on the day from 5 different players. That's a touchdown from Johnny Reno, the rookie sensation, to Mike Twinscrew. And, I mean, from the jump today, Mike, L.A. just didn't get off the bus. 0 first downs in the first half. And the game started at a 10 a.m. local kickoff for Los Angeles, and you just wonder if there was some jet lag coming from the West so early.
I wouldn't think 2 hours would make that much of a difference as far as jet lag goes, Cam. But I will say this about Fort Worth. A couple of seasons ago, the reason why they were one of the more feared teams in the league was because of that defense that they had. They would really shut teams down, make it hard for them to score. And as you just mentioned, the 6 turnovers today, if they're starting to get back to what they were a couple of seasons ago, this team's going to be dangerous coming down the stretch here at the end of this season.
Williams would get inside the 9, and then Fort Worth would cap this drive off. This is all in the first quarter, and there was just no let-up as Johnny Reno hit Twinscrew again, and Fort Worth clobbers Los Angeles today. They put up over 40 and blow out the Lycans. Let's check in on Houston and Portland from the Great Northwest. Now, they had an early kickoff. Portland 0-8. They have really struggled. Let's jump to the second half. It's 28-20. Houston. This was a questionable call, Mike, as Love, did he or did he not cross the goal line on the 2-point conversion? But Valentin with the touchdown. Portland would tie this game at 28. But from there, Portland seemed to really struggle to keep up with Houston.
Yeah, Cam, controversial call, first of all. that really didn't look like he had gotten in to me, but the calls, did stand, and he tied the game at the time, and it was a back and forth kind of game up until that point. But then, as we see, the great DRCM right there with a huge touchdown for Houston. But then, like I said, after that touchdown, when they tied the game, Houston just put the foot on the pedal and ran away from these guys.
Portland gives up 0 touchdowns last week in a 12-10 loss, and then gives up 7 touchdowns this week against Houston, who's now 4-4 and is off to the races. This was sort of Portland's last gasp. Leo Morris has been so stellar on kickoff return for Portland, and this one tied the game up.
Yeah, Leo Morris, he's been great on special teams the past couple of seasons, and we see him right here again, bringing Portland back into this game with a huge kickoff return. And Portland, they've just been snake bitten, Cam, from the standpoint of they can't close out games. They've been close all season long. They've been getting huge plays all season long, but they just can't make that one play to put them over the top, and that now they find themselves at 0-8.
4th down, 90 seconds, down 6, and now 0-9, Mike, as that pass is a turnover on downs, and Houston would put another touchdown up on the board to win the ball game, 48-35, and here it is. I mean, Portland was just, in man coverage all day. They were hyper-aggressive. It worked last week. It didn't work this week, and now the Hyenas are back in business. So a 48-35 win for Houston. They're now 4-4. All of a sudden, the South is really tight. Houston just one game back of Lone Star in that division, and that should be fun. Jacksonville right now, bonus coverage leads Tulsa 14-7. We've seen 3 touchdowns in that game, but the offenses are feeling each other out in this one. Kings up 7. Dunhill is 15 of 16. Their quarterback passing. He's looked pretty good. Jacksonville's putting on a good show.
Yeah, Marcus Dunhill has been super efficient over the past couple of weeks, and definitely in this game. He had struggled pretty much all season long with the turnover bug, but he's been pretty solid the past couple of weeks. Jacksonville find themselves 4-3. They really need to get this victory today to keep pace or even take the lead in the Atlantic Division. And speaking of keeping pace, this is a huge game for both teams. Tulsa, one of the last 3 games. Douglas Brown, the number 1 overall pick, he's been fantastic throughout that streak. And this is probably the biggest game that Tulsa has had, Cam, at any point that I can personally remember. And it's going to be a huge game, 14-7, right under 2 minutes to go in that first half. It's anybody's ball game. Yeah, it's anybody's ball game right now.
They're both teams just running it down each other's throats. Not a lot of clock stoppages. We'll keep you updated on that big one in the playoff picture. Baltimore and Charleston also got wins earlier today as well. This has been the APM Music Halftime Report. We're back to St. Louis for the second half with Tim and Matt after these messages. You're watching the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports.
After a back and forth first half of action in St. Louis, we are all square at 13 apiece as we get ready to start the second half. Happy to have you with us. Live from Gateway Coliseum, this SFL Saturday doubleheader on Next Level Sports rolls on. Alongside the Hall of Famer Matt Wilson, I'm Tim Hackett, happy to be with you. Atlanta will get the ball to start off the second half. Here is Ryan Roosevelt, who has the Swarm's only touchdown today, out to the 32-yard line. Well, back and forth in the first half, Matt. St. Louis scores a field goal. Atlanta responds with a field goal. St. Louis scores a touchdown. Atlanta responds with a touchdown. Atlanta then scores a field goal to take the lead for the first time. St. Louis then hits a field goal of their own in the final 30 seconds of the first half. And that's how we are where we are, 13 apiece as we start the third quarter.
Yeah, now we'll see how Atlanta chooses to start this half.
Go on the ground. Mitchell O'Brien has his second carry of today, and that's pretty much the way the first one went. Gain of 6 for the fifth-year fullback.
Yeah, lowered the shoulder, leveled a guy, and again, 6 yards on your fullback. Great stuff.
Second carry for a total of 12 yards for O'Brien. He did not have a carry and only had 1 catch when these two teams met up in week 3 last week against Jacksonville. 1 carry and 1 catch, so he's right on pace with his second total touch today. Only 11 total touches on the season for him. Hollywood gets the carry on second down, so a little bit of a reverse script, I guess. Max Knight, who's having an excellent season, brings him down after a gain of 2.
Yeah, they busted out the 3-back set again with the fullback and the tight end back there, but it didn't produce again, and now they just need to go short. Does Atlanta? Look at the bottom. Lots of room.
They will run it away from that heavy set, and Hollywood is able to churn forward and get the first down, carrying Mark Gronick with him.
Yeah, well, better play than what I scripted. Anytime you get a first down, it's a winning play. So now I think Atlanta can do whatever they like here. It's been a good recipe, just keeping it on the ground with Hollywood and then throwing, just to keep the defense off their toes.
Third down conversion successful for Atlanta here on their first possession of the second half. Dynasty will throw. Over the middle he goes. Chisholm makes the catch for a short gain and a gain of about 6. For the first time today, we've got a game break. Let's send it to Cameron Irvine in the studio.
Thanks, Tim. Tulsa trying to tie the game, Mike, when Gabriel Manning does this.
Yeah, Cam, JQ dropping back here, trying to put points on the board before the half, and something you never see. Gabriel Manning dropping a pass. Greg Gaines takes advantage with the interception in end zone and turns into points before half. Jacksonville's up 17-7.
Back to Tim and Matt, who are watching BDG run wild.
Yeah, wild indeed, Cam. Thanks. Gain of 14 here for Hollywood, Matt.
There you go.
They stopped him up when these two teams played in St. Louis earlier this year. It was just through 2 weeks, yeah, but going into that game, St. Louis had the worst rush defense in the SFL. They gave up more rushing yards through their first 2 games than anybody else did, but they held BDG Hollywood, who has more rushing yards in league history than anybody else. They only allowed 71 yards to Hollywood in that game. Here he breaks off a gain of 14 and puts Atlanta on the 36. Dynasty will throw. Get up against St. Louis and finally picked off. Are you kidding me? Mark Gronick, after it was deflected about 12 times, comes down with the craziest interception that you will ever see.
Well, they were playing volleyball, I guess, instead of football for a second there. Is that boing, boing, boing. I think there was about 4 or 5 people that touched the ball. Finally, St. Louis comes away with a huge turnover, and now that kind of squares them with what happened to them on the kickoff return. Now, let's see if they can score some points or if Atlanta's defense is going to, tighten up.
I lost count of how many deflections that one took, but ultimately it is the first INT of the season for Mark Gronick, the fifth-year linebacker for St. Louis. Brown with his first touch of the second half. Tips it this way. That's caught. Yep. Nice pickup for Phil Koss. First down.
And I was saying, Dynasty had thrown some tight passes, and was one going to come back and bite him, and that one did. And just a nice play here by Brown. Thrown just wide open on the sidelines there. Gets the 1 foot. That's all you need in the SFL. And St. Louis moving the ball again.
Third catch of the game for Koss, and Brown has really spread it around very nicely so far, Matt. 17 completions to 5 different receivers, all of whom have 3 or more catches. in the game. Here's Martinez, and a short gain for Cairo on his first carry of the second half. 3 catches for Dillavu, Mandavi, and Koss, and 4 catches for Martinez and Dean out of the backfield. Everybody's got between 20 and 50 receiving yards. It's crazy.
You have to just keep spreading it around evenly. That's definitely a good recipe for success. There's 4 wides.
That's, of course, for Shane Kaufman, who does not have a catch. Brown will not go his way. He'll go out of the backfield. Oh, that could have been dangerous one way or another, but it will go down as just a tackle for Chris Henry after a gain of 4.
That's why it's nice to have backup. Martinez stiff-armed someone onto the next dimension, but luckily his teammate cleaned up the mess.
It's been a slow season for Martinez, as we outlined in the first half. 19th in the league in carries. Among starting running backs, he's 3rd last in rushing yards, tied for last in rushing touchdowns before today, and 4th to last in running average, 3.6 yards per carry. It's been a slow season, but a solid game for him here. Brown, 3rd down throws, short of the sticks, needed 6, only got 4. Martinez with the catch, but Atlanta was ready.
And I thought they had a chance again at the top of the screen, but they did run an out route, but it was too long. It was not there, so Brown had to kind of go safe. Didn't turn the ball over, but now Atlanta will get this punt and see if they can continue the momentum they had on the earlier drive.
Back-to-back catches for Cairo only gets to a total of 8 yards. And
Hello.
Utrecht Rugen with his first punt of the game, and that is a beauty. Talk about field flipping. And Matt, I'm curious what your opinion on rostered punters are. I've never asked you, and St. Louis has one, and there's a reason why.
It depends how you use them. It could be a detriment or it could be a benefit. He was also punting with the wind, so you got to keep that in mind. But let's pin Atlanta back, but it doesn't matter how far you pin him back, because can you stop him?
Defense has to rally to the challenge from there for sure. So Atlanta will start from the 16. Hollywood with the spin move, and nothing doing there. We mentioned that last game against St. Louis, 71 total rushing yards. 30 of them came on one play, so nearly half of his yardage total on one play in a game where he had 20 total carries, an average of 3.6 yards per carry, which is Martinez's average for the year, incidentally, for Hollywood, who averages better than 4 yards per carry on the balance of the season. That was his slowest game of the year for sure. Dynasty will throw. Hollywood makes the catch and then spins right into the defense. Roger Law and a couple others were there.
And there you go. I mean, Dynasty has the 1 touchdown, but Brown has double the yards, and going to need to throw it pretty deep here on this 3rd and 8.
For as much maligned as they have been, deservedly so, in the course of this season, 3rd down conversion rate last in the league. Atlanta is 6 of 8 today, including a couple of long 3rd down conversions. This was certainly qualified. Play action, Dynasty hit, and drops the ball. Atlanta's going to get it. It's just barely. They had it, then they didn't. And finally, a lineman falls on it after the defensive tackle, Max Knight. Again, he's had a standout season, top 5 in the league in sacks and tackles for loss. He was there to help force it. Atlanta falls on it, though. That could have been trouble.
Here you go. Here's their punter situation now, kicking into the wind. Let's see how far this one goes.
See it at the bottom of your screen. Top 5 in both sacks, and TFLs also has a pass deflection at a forced fumble.
Oh, boy.
That is a short punt. From the 15-yard line to the 45, math even I can do, Matt. A net of 30 yards for Chris Smith, and St. Louis will start in plus territory.
Well, Smith, for some reason, felt the need to punt quick. He didn't get his full steps, and that'll kill your punting average every time. And so now St. Louis is even better off than when they had to punt.
No kidding. So that's I don't even want to do that math. I was told they were doing math.
It's a plus for a well-paid punter is what it is.
No kidding. That's one to the good for Rugen for sure. Brown back with the ball, tries to flip it out to Martinez, and gain of just a couple out of the backfield there. These two ball carriers are more like ball catchers so far in this game. A combined 11 grabs for Martinez and Dean. The wide receivers have combined for 9.
2nd and 6, they're right. Again, fringe field goal range about another 5 yards. They have the wind at their back, so they're gonna. Even 3 is good in this game, the way the score has been.
20th total touch of the game for Martinez. Brown with a deep drop.
Better move.
Finally, he's ready to throw.
No!
Down the team, and it's picked off. 2nd interception today for Jay Miraculous. who didn't have any before today.
Brown sitting there in the pocket, and I'm like, you got to get rid of the ball. Nobody's there, and he throws this balloon ball up for grabs, and not the best decision there, as Miraculous just reached out and grabbed it, and that was not. It's probably the ugliest play St. Louis has run all game long.
They also tried to rush in Don Fletcher, who is their ill-used number 6 corner. Has only made 6 tackles this season, but he was in on the pressure that time and nearly got to Christian Brown. Maybe helped force a bad throw. And like you said, it was not a very good throw at the end of the day from Brown. Dynasty trying to and out of the hand somehow. And you see Dynasty looking for a flag. That's Jamal Wooding, the target. He was hit immediately.
Yeah, let's take a look here. There's Wooding. Look legal to me. Out of all the PIs that could have been called, that one was just right on time to me. Great play. And boy, these defenses are really just pushing each other. The offenses around right now.
We're not really surprised at the scoreline necessarily. These are two of the best defenses in the SFL in terms of points per game, and the 2 worst offenses in the SFL in terms of points.
Dynasty.
Dynasty will throw this way, has a man, first down, and a gain of 12. First down for Boo Chisholm.
Oof. Dynasty almost ate it. His legs were getting hit, but he got a nice ball out to Boo Chisholm, and keeps the drive going. Another 3rd down conversion for Atlanta.
It's not quite dinner time in St. Louis yet, so nothing to eat for Dynasty. I mean, look at that quarterback rating, 68.6. On the season, it's 69.2, which is 4th worst in the SFL for a guy that was an all-star a season ago and has been twice in his first 3 seasons. Here's Hollywood. Outside he goes, and down he goes. A loss of 1, hit immediately by Mike Ballant.
Yeah, there's the D. Sealed it off. BDG tried to bounce to the offsides, but the reinforcements came in and made a nice tackle, and that's not good. If BDG's average starts dipping, that means Dynasty's going to have to hurl the ball a little bit more, and hasn't been good lately. Oh, no.
And again, St. Louis with the stop. This is shades of that first meeting a couple of weeks ago. Tom Tanner, the defensive end, makes that play. 3rd down.
Hollywood's looked real tired on that. 3rd and 13. St. Louis, you better get your safeties back there because Atlanta loves to take those 7-step drops, and they do have both of their safeties playing back.
Good count. I got 7 tackles for loss when these 2 teams met up last time, and they're already well on their way to that in this game already.
Oh, no.
Dynasty off his back foot. But Roosevelt with another big catch out to the 45.
That's some magician-level stuff by Dynasty. Again, under siege, keeping somehow composure as just look at the ball. You'd never know that there was some problems for Dynasty in the backfield.
We talked about the balance for St. Louis in this game. Atlanta has gone a slightly different way. 1 catch today for Wooding, 1 for Falco. That is the 4th now for Roosevelt for 70 yards, who had just 21 yards when these 2 teams played earlier this season. Deep drop for Dynasty, and a diving attempt was made by Adobe, who had 1 catch earlier today, and not this time.
Yeah, but if that was thrown a little, not quite as deep, it might have been 6. Again, catching St. Louis playing a little too far front. Those safeties, man. You can't let the receivers get past you. That's your job, and that's why you're the safeties.
14 catches for 172 and a touchdown for Roosevelt on the balance of this season. Today, 4 for 70 and touchdown number 2. 2nd down, they'll run it to Hollywood. A couple of spins, and St. Louis has the whole Gladiator army there. Matthew Halford at the end of that play.
Yeah, I mean, what more can you do with your Hollywood? You made 2 guys miss, but the 3rd guy got him. So good job for St. Louis to be in the area. And here we go, 3rd down again.
Hollywood again, 14th in the league in carries and in yards, 13th in average, 10th in touchdowns. But St. Louis has stopped him up for the 2nd straight meeting so far. Dynasty is taken down. A big opportunity and a big time for St. Louis to get its 2nd sack. It's another one for Max Knight.
Max Knight is a very large individual. That's a lot of beef. And down goes Dynasty. And again, these defenses, man, they're just beating on these offenses, and they haven't gotten into the red zone in a long time. I think they haven't gotten in the red zone at all this quarter.
You mentioned it, two of the best defenses in the league in terms of points per game. St. Louis has allowed the 6th fewest points this season. Atlanta, the 7th fewest. They're both top 5 in yards. 5th total yards allowed St. Louis. 3rd fewest yards allowed for Atlanta. And so far today, the defenses have done a good job. But St. Louis has had the edge in a lot of stats, Matt. You see them there. Total yards, edge in favor of St. Louis. But the turnovers, I mean, edge now in favor of Atlanta because of that last interception from Christian Brown, but pretty much even there. The yards per play average, look at that. 2 more in favor of St. Louis. We now have the ball once again. Here's Martinez. He is stuck.
I almost choked. I think he did too.
And Jack Napier did not choke on that play. Great hit.
But I don't mind the play. You know, it's a 5-yard gain. I always like to call it the long handoff, right? You're happy with a 5-yard gain on a run. I'm happy with that on a swing pass. And now maybe they're going to go back to Martinez here.
Well, it's worked. They've thrown for 100 total yards to their 2 tailbacks so far today, and they're averaging on the ground fewer than 3 yards per carry. So they'll throw it again. Martinez, and that's another gain of 5+ through the air for Cairo Martinez, blowing over the first man and picking up 7.
Brown had to be careful, though. He had to wait for those defenders to kind of, come towards him. Otherwise, they could have gotten up in the way and tried to deflect it. But look at the block there by 77, and then Martinez takes care of the rest.
It's Giorgio Del Petro, the right guard, with that amazing pull all the way out to the left sideline. You don't see that very often. Find that guy up. Great speed. Under the wire here in the 3rd quarter. Brown looks, finds Martinez, and no shimmy move that time for Martinez. He gets pushed out of bounds. Nice hit out there by Diamond Blackwell, the rookie. Atlanta's 1st-round pick this year, number 20 overall in the draft. Only 18 tackles so far this season. Stack that up against Quanah Shine and Cree Higgins, both of whom have more than 65. So Blackwell does not play nearly as much, especially when Atlanta tries to stack the secondary with 5 or even 6 DBs. But solid game so far today for Blackwell, who did not have any tackles when these two teams played in the Hive earlier this year. They will run a play before the end of the quarter. Brown, top of the screen, wide open. Mondavi, 1st down, and taken down there by Cree Higgins at the midfield stripe. Nearly 250 passing yards for Brown. Another big catch for Eagle Mondavi. St. Louis is on the move at the end of 3. No change in score. Gladiators 13, Swarm 13. This is the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports, presented by APM Music. The 4th quarter is next. To the fourth quarter we go, and an important East Division showdown alongside SFL Hall of Famer Matt Wilson. I'm Tim Hackett, Justin Reside, Eddie Gage, and the stat chart Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green back in the studio. First play of the fourth quarter, and out of the backfield, Jack Napier makes another tackle on the line against Cairo Martinez, who has been busy today, Matt Wilson. This time Atlanta's defense up to the task.
Yeah, and not much yardage in that third quarter. A lot of punt, pick, and so on and so forth. Hope to see more scoring in this quarter. Otherwise, it's going into overtime.
Again, the bottom two teams in terms of points per game in the SFL through 7 games. Some teams have played 8. As Brown floats it up and it's caught, that'll help change things. Out to the 28-yard line, a gain of about 22. First down, Eagle Mondavi. And we've got a game break. Let's head to Tulsa with Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green.
Thanks, Tim. These two teams not the only ones playing defense. Jacksonville all over Tulsa right now.
Yeah, Cam, turnover fest over here in Tulsa. Stuart Zamelia with a huge interception that led to a Tulsa interception by Travis Arthur, which led to Greg Gaines' second interception of the game, Cam. Defensive battle over here for sure. 17-7 still in the third for Jacksonville.
Oprah with the picks back to St. Louis. Tim.
I can. Thanks so much. You can catch that game live on our Twitch page with Tyler Falk and Aaron Alexander, twitch.tv/SimulationFL. We're happy to have you with us here on Next Level Sports. Alongside Hall of Famer Matt Wilson, I'm Tim Hackett. As St. Louis continues to play it short, gain of 3 through the sky that time for Cairo Martinez. He now has 11 catches on the day, most among any receiver. On the ground they go. Martinez breaks out of the first hit, shakes out of a second hit, and then is wrenched down by veteran safety Chris Henry. Nice gain, 3rd down and 1.
It's going to be interesting what St. Louis wants to do here. Martinez has been pretty productive on the ground, but Atlanta's been ready for it. It looks like maybe a pass.
Officially 100 total yards for Martinez. Brown is under pressure, and down he goes. Billy Ray Valentine with the first sack of the day for the Swarm, and a big time for it. Williams is there as well. 4th down coming up.
Yeah, big William. Look at that's a sandwich I wouldn't want to be a part of. Ouch, my vertebrae hurt. But St. Louis gets a chance to take the lead.
4th total sack for Valentine, up to 3 total sacks now for Williams. St. Louis has allowed 14 sacks through 7 games. That was one of the top 10 most allowed by any team through 7 games, but their first allowed today. More difficult for Beauchamp. Atlanta sends the pressure, but Beauchamp knocks it through. He is now 3 of 3 today, Matt, up to 15 made kicks on the season. And St. Louis leads once again.
Yeah, like I say, how big was that 49-yarder he made earlier? That one, he had a little more leg on that one, but keep this in mind that now Atlanta has the wind, so kicking will be a little bit easier for them.
You got to figure that playing from behind is not something that Atlanta really wants to be in a situation like this. Nobody wants to be trailing in the 4th quarter, obviously, but when you've got an offense that has struggled so far like Atlanta's has on the balance of this season, it's not obviously good to be down by even just 3 with 8.5 left. Kind of belies their 4-3 record, as Roosevelt is able to hold on to that one, or their 4-3 record, I should say, kind of covers up some of their offensive inefficiency so far this year, Matt. I mean, 4-3, they're in the playoffs right now if it started today, but second to last in yards per game, fewest passing touchdowns in the league with 6, last in 3rd down percentages we've already talked about, and the fewest points per game in the league at exactly 20. Last year they were 3rd at better than 31 points per game, and everybody is back. As Dynasty falls into traffic. Oh, man. That would have been about as poorly timed as possible. Mark Gronick has had his fingerprints all over this game. Could have had his second pick.
He almost turned me into a soprano, too. It's amazing. Dynasty's got to be careful. You don't want those prior interceptions problems to creep in now. It's only a 1-possession game, so it's not, especially a 3-point game, so it's not the end of the world. Atlanta can run whatever they feel like, but turning the ball over is not a good option here.
happened to both teams today. Dynasty will throw. Here's
Oh,
Mitchell
no.
O'Brien.
Oh,
And turnover. They say he makes the catch and then coughs it up, and St. Louis falls on it. David Leathers is there for the recovery, and if it stands, it'll be a takeaway in plus territory
Did
for
he
the
make a
Gladiators.
football move? Oh, yes. That's definitely a football move. No challenge necessary. And hashtag throw it to the fullback just died with that one. Sorry, Mike.
Even in his absence, the Mike Dagg spirit lives on, but not in that play. He usually likes the tight ends to get involved. And, I mean, Atlanta's not gone to Jamal Wooding. They have a good tight end, but once today, and they try to go to the fullback, trying to replicate the success St. Louis has had, and O'Brien popped it up. Martinez gets that toss, and he's thrown out of bounds by Miraculous.
But again, if you're St. Louis, I mean, no need to go crazy here. You got a turnover. Right now you're looking at almost a guaranteed 3, which this game feels like 7.
Kidding.
So get what's available. Don't take any huge shots. Just, play. I play it safe. 8 minutes to go. Time's starting to become a factor.
Leathers was there for the force. Law had the recovery.
Oh!
Bruising run for Martinez. Give him 7 that time. Finally stopped by Henry.
There you go. Martinez looked a little tired himself, but he's had quite a few carries. Boom! Oof. That was not a miraculous tackle by Jay there. I'm sure he'll do better in the future, but now is when you go to your outs, your screens. Although Atlanta's playing up, so it's going to be a little bit harder for that.
Now they stack the box here. They're now showing blitz on 3rd and 3. Brown
Oh,
throws
no.
and out of the hands of his receiver. That's the tight end, Phil Cause. There's the other get it trending. Hashtag throw it to the tight end. Not this time. And as you predicted, Matt, they will have to try it out. Bobby Ray Beauchamp for the second time in this fourth quarter.
Again, any points off turnover are positive plays, and this will put them up 6, and now that makes it a little more daunting for Atlanta. They don't need a touchdown, 7 minutes to go, but it puts more pressure at least to get 2 field goals to tie it up if this is good.
Beauchamp was already 3 of 3 in the game today. Hold down from Elsie Mondavi, and the kick from Beauchamp is good from 36. He is 4 of 4, and St. Louis is on top by 6. Back after this, you're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on Next Level Sports. For the first time in this game, the same team has scored twice in a row, 2 field goals in this fourth quarter from the rookie undrafted free agent Bobby Ray Beauchamp, who has had longtime ties to this St. Louis Gladiators team. His 4th made kick of the game, and the Gladiators have a 6-point lead. Coverage of the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports continues Saturday on March 26th. First, a playoff rematch between London and Arizona, followed by a rivalry in the Pacific between Vancouver and Los Angeles. Bonus coverage includes San Diego and Houston and Tulsa against Florida. Coverage starts at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Visit NLSE.com to find Next Level Sports in your area. Well, we mentioned it earlier, Matt. Atlanta has struggled on offense all season despite all of their stars. Can they come back from down 6 here in the fourth quarter? That's a good start. Gain of 5 for Hollywood.
Well, Hollywood's good for one huge run a game. We haven't seen it yet, so a couple spins off to the races, touchdown. That's kind of what Atlanta needs, him to make a big play and at least get them in these manageable second downs. He's struggled a bit lately. St. Louis has really kind of pinned him down.
South of 90 total yards in this game. He averages exactly 117 total yards of offense through 7 weeks this week. Dynasty, no look pass really, and zips it right to the line goes Siege Falco. See, everybody on St. Louis's side thinks that he's short, and that is the initial spot, man.
Must have been carrying the ball behind him even though his body was in front of the line. Now, this could be very interesting. I imagine a Hollywood run, but if they want to stretch it, that's where, St. Louis is going to have their number. Here we go. If they go up the middle with this, could be interesting.
Bring out the 2 fullback set with Bandit helping lead the way.
Oh,
Hollywood
no!
and they'll give him the first down. Hit in the backfield initially by Tom Tanner, and they say Hollywood falls across the magic yellow line just barely enough as it stands right now.
Yeah, I guess so. I wasn't so sure. We couldn't see where the ball was again in his hand, but big pickup by Hollywood. The drive continues, and we're going to be under 6 minutes here in a second.
Well, the chat was split as to whether Falco's catch should have been enough for the first down. I can't imagine what they're going to think about that one, but either way, it is a first down for Atlanta. Dynasty on that deep play fake. Fires caught for a gain of 8. That's worked a lot today for Atlanta, and there is DJ Bandit, the rookie second-round tight end, with his first catch today and his 6th catch of the season.
Just have to be careful of the pass rush. If somebody gets free on that play action, Dynasty's eating dirt.
Figured we might see a lot of Bandit today. Again, 5 total catches, but 2 of them last week against Jacksonville.
Uh-oh.
O'Brien leads the way as Hollywood picks up a first down and Atlanta across midfield.
I was waiting for the double, triple spin there. Hollywood decided not to bust it out, man. That could have been the run, but still some nice blocking. As again, he got that outside seal right there. Just couldn't quite get away. But again, Atlanta marching towards field goal range, and that's up. Field goal's fine. They can kick a field goal. They have all their timeouts, but they probably would. I don't know if they're going to onside it. It just depends on how fast they score.
Need to score, though, something you would think. Dynasty throws. That's caught by Siege Falco. He had 1 catch all game, and now he's got 2 here on this drive.
Yeah, and good on Atlanta. They just want to. I mean, they're going to make this their one drive and just, pick. As far as, don't throw picks, but a little at a time and then try to get it into the end zone. Then you have the lead.
2nd and 4, Dynasty this way. Hollywood's got running room, and he's got another first down, just barely past that. That daylight closed immediately. David Leathers, who was an off-season pickup, spent his first 2 seasons with DC. His first year here with St. Louis makes that stop. He hustled to close the gap on Hollywood, gain of 5.
And again, look at the clock. This is grading the clock. What if it's good or bad? I'm not sure. If Atlanta scores a touchdown, it's very good.
Continue to just pick away and get back into it. Hollywood stops and makes the catch, gets a block, and is able to hustle out and pick up 4. Wrenched down by those 2 backers again. 52 Panani and 42 Gronick. They have both been busy today for St. Louis.
Atlanta was lucky there was no one in the vicinity because Hollywood caught that ball with no momentum, had to restart, and luckily was able to get 5 out of it.
Now at the 31. It's been Atlanta's best drive of the second half so far. Again, deep play fake for Dynasty, who has all day. Zipped it top of the screen, cuts, caught. Right on target for Show Nuff, the number 3 tight end in this Atlanta offense. First down to the 22.
I think St. Louis has seen enough of that guy. Nuff making a nice grab, and again, just holds onto the ball, no fumbles, no problems, first down. And again, this long, meticulous drive from Atlanta continues. And now they're to the point where, they kind of they don't need to score a touchdown, but it's getting close to that point.
This drive has lasted a long time. 3 minutes and counting left. Here goes Hollywood running up the middle. Gronick again is there for the stop, as well as Leathers. Those two have been busy on this drive. You see the start time there at the bottom of your screen. So now 4.5 minutes of possession in this drive alone for Atlanta.
And that clock, they're getting, 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, first down. They're getting close to that end zone.
Getting close to touchdown or bust territory like you were hinting at, Matt. Yeah. Second down, here's Hollywood trying to go outside. St. Louis closes the window again. Leathers again. 4 tackles in this game, and 3 of them have come on this drive.
It's going to be interesting to see if Atlanta wants to run a play before the 2-minute warning.
Don't have to.
They will.
Would you?
I would check the look.
Just now we're getting to the line.
I don't know.
And they might run it from the holster set. They will snap it at 2:03. Dynasty chucks it, and it's dropped by Hollywood. That was close to another volleyball-style pick. 2 minutes left in regulation. We had another look at one of the flukiest plays of the game. Hollywood couldn't haul it in. Back after this on Next Level Sports. Less than 2 to go. St. Louis clinging to a 6-point lead. Matt Wilson, Hall of Fame quarterback alongside me. I was going to ask you what you think. They're going to go for it. Do you like it?
I don't know. It's 50-50 here. Let's see.
They're going to go for it on 4th and 6. Dynasty to throw.
Oh,
no! Away! And now let's explain the calculus, Matt, because Atlanta does have all 3 timeouts, but the Gladiators are able to rise and get another pass deflection on the 13th play of that drive. The veteran Colin Douglas, big week for him. He makes possibly the biggest play of the game.
Yeah, receiver was open. Maybe should have thrown that ball a little earlier, but now it's up to Cairo Martinez. 1 first down, game over.
So what goes into your thought process as a quarterback and as a longtime member of this league in that situation? It's 4th and 6, field goal makes it a 3-point game. Instead, you fail on 4th down, and now you give the ball and the initiative back to St. Louis, up by 6.
Again, it's all about Martinez here. Yeah.
It's a good start for Atlanta. Swole is there to make the play on 1st down.
Think about it this way, though. If Martinez if they run it 3 times, they get nothing. They're forced to punt with the wind. Again, Atlanta could end up with extremely good field position. And not a lot of time off the clock.
Yeah, no doubt. Only a few seconds come off there as Atlanta uses its first timeout. Cree Higgins also in on the stop. Those two guys, remember Higgins and Shine, both had 13 tackles when these two played last time. Similar play, similar result for the St. Louis offense. You run right into Joshua Williams. It's not really the best play call.
I think you got to throw a screen or something. You're not going to get the first down running up the middle. You got to do something safe that doesn't stop the clock. As far as it being short of the first, but it looks like this could be very dangerous.
Holster set and 3 wides for Christian Brown on 3rd and 9. Brown's going to take off and run. A quarterback draw and Aquanta Shine, the 13th year linebacker, was ready to make that stop. He ran right at him, Matt.
Yeah, that's not the play you want to run there. I don't know what they were thinking. They waste almost no time comes off the clock. 1:45. We'll have to see where this punt ends up, which is probably going to be at midfield, and that's a great amount of time for Atlanta to score a touchdown.
Well, don't forget, Ultrecht Rugen is
no!
the footer for St. Louis, and it was nearly blocked, and he is able to get it out past midfield, returnable for Roosevelt, and he would get to the 42. So there's your star punter coming into play for the 2nd time today, Matt. Pretty good kick, all things considered, for Ultrecht Rugen. Atlanta will start from the 42. They need 6 to tie.
Fasten your seatbelts now. This is where it gets exciting, but also dangerous.
Atlanta, the number 24 offense in the SFL out of 24 teams, last in points per game with 20. If they are able to score 20 here, it might be enough to win.
Those safeties better be backpedaling.
Dynasty has only thrown 7 touchdowns this season. He will throw or try to. Down he goes. Another sack for the Gladiators. Atlanta doesn't have any timeouts.
You can't do that. You can't take the sack. You're going to waste about 10 seconds, and now the yardage is... Oof.
1:20 left. Dynasty, quick throw, and out of the hands of the defender. One-on-one coverage with Boo Chisholm down there against Roger Law, and St. Louis wins that battle.
Oof. Disastrous. Now 3rd and 16.
Yeah.
I always tell Mike, try to get half of it back. Right now you just got to look at yardage. Make it 4th and 8, right? You don't want a 4th and 16.
Sure. You got time. You could afford for the clock to run if you keep it in downs.
I don't agree with this. They're playing press with 1 deep safety.
3rd and 16 against the team that has the worst 3rd down conversion rate in the SFL. Dynasty floats it up into double coverage. Leathers and Douglas were both there defending Siege Falco, and exactly what you said you didn't want to see, Matt. If you're Atlanta, we're going to see it 4th and 16 for the game.
This is it. Now you just got to say, well, where's my best receiver? Find the one-on-one coverage, find the hole in the zone. You have to throw the ball at least close to the first down marker.
Hollywood alone in the backfield and 4 wides for Dynasty on 4th and 16. Has time, floats it towards the sticks. Falco makes the catch, and he's tackled short. Colin Douglas does make the biggest play of the game, stopping Falco 2 yards short of the line. A turnover on down, St. Louis ball.
That's why I say get half of it back. If you had half of it, that would have been an easy first down, but there's not many plays in the book for 4th and 16.
They try to run something. They had the matchup, they thought, instead of Chisholm against Law, they tried to go Falco against Douglas, a 12th year defensive back. And in a week that St. Louis has made a ton of announcements, including a couple that have centered around Colin Douglas this week, Matt. This has been a guy who has been part of this St. Louis franchise for 11 seasons. He makes the 2 biggest plays with the stop on 4th down on Atlanta's previous drive and then that stop on 4th down on this drive. I mean, you can't script it any better for Colin and company.
No, what was the score of their last matchup? Wasn't it 13?
Earlier this season?
Yes.
20-13.
Wow.
What do you know?
Almost exactly the same.
Right on it, as usual, Matt. Another knee for Christian Brown, and that is going to do it. St. Louis sweeps the regular season series against Atlanta. This 4-game losing streak is history, and the Gladiators are going to stay alive in the East Division. They'll be 3-5. Atlanta will drop to 4-4, and even though Louisiana is one of the hottest teams in the SFL, this division race is alive and kicking. Back-to-back big plays for Colin Douglas on 4th down help seal the deal. Round 1, St. Louis 20-13. Round 2, St. Louis 19-13. And the Gladiators sweep the season series against the Swarm. I mean, crazy game.
Yeah.
Defense has shined through once again. Again, the 2 lowest scoring offenses in the SFL. Neither cracked 20 points, and big stops by the St. Louis defense when it mattered most.
And really, Atlanta was much more productive in the second half, yardage-wise, but, it just wasn't quite enough. That strange volleyball interception, that was one play. And just, St. Louis just did enough. They didn't commit the one fatal flaw, although this was not a great moment for Christian Brown. He didn't play the best game. The running game kind of evaporated, but Martinez it's just those little inches. Those just the that last 4th down, 2 yards makes all the difference. So that's how a lot of SFL games go. And again, you're right. This race is tightening up. St. Louis isn't dead yet, and lots more football to be played this season.
I should correct myself before we go any further. The final of that first game was 27-13 because it was 20-13 and Atlanta had the ball, and Bryant Dynasty threw a pick 6 in the final minute of that game to Graham Northrup, one of the backups. That made it 27-13, but it was 20-13 for a large portion of that game. So that ended up being a 2-score game, but regardless, this one is a 19-13 final, and I mean, Matt, I have no idea where to go for player of the game. There are a lot of options.
Yeah, I don't know. Usually it goes to the quarterback. But I don't know. Yeah, take your pick.
Brown didn't throw any touchdowns. He's going to give it to Beauchamp. There you go, Cairo Martinez.
Over 100 total yards.
100 total yards and the only touchdown on offense for St. Louis. They sweep the regular season series, and this division race is alive and well. Thank you for watching this production of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. For our statisticians, Justin Reside and Eddie Gage, and my partner, Matt Wilson, I've been Tim Hackett. We'll take a break and send you back to the studio. Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green with the post-game show right after this on Next Level Sports.
Welcome back to SFL Studios as the sun sets on another SFL Saturday showcase here on Next Level Sports. It was all about defense in the second block, Mike, and St. Louis sweeps Atlanta to make things just that much more complicated for the Swarm trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah, Cam, not only did they, sweep these guys, they held them to 13 points in both games. And they, whatever it is, they have the Swarm number. The offense seems to struggle against these guys. I mean, of course, they've struggled all season long, but it seems like it's something extra about when they play St. Louis that Atlanta cannot, get off the schneid with these guys.
And Tulsa's going to be hoping that Louisiana takes it on the chin to Florida. Otherwise, this will be a terrific weekend for the Louisiana Revolution. They come into it 6-2. Tulsa was 5-3, but they lose today in a dud to Jacksonville, 20-7. Mike, and Tulsa just played sloppy. They just didn't play very well.
Yeah, Cam, you took the word right out of my mouth. That's what I was going to say. It was a very sloppy game from Tulsa today. We saw Gabriel Manning drop a possible touchdown pass in the end zone right before the half that led to an interception and points the other way for Jacksonville to close out the half. We saw Jason France, miss a probably first down catch later in the second half that would have moved the chains. Less than 150 yards passing for JQ, 4 turnovers. I mean, it was just a bad game all the way around for these guys offensively. The only bright spot was the rookie, once again, Douglas Brown, 135 yards, and he did score the 1 touchdown that the Desperados have. But, man, kudos and hats off to Jacksonville. They came in prepared, played great. Marcus Dunhill, he's rounding back into MVP form. 31 out of 38 for over 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns for him. So, now Jacksonville's really set themselves up pretty nicely over there in the Atlantic Division at 5-3.
Oh, that's a dogfight too. Charleston now 5-4, Jacksonville 5-3. If Florida wins tomorrow, that would be 3 teams above 500 in the Atlantic. If they lose, Mike, Florida will be in 3rd place with just a few weeks to go, 4 weeks to go in the SFL regular season. So huge game tomorrow with Louisiana and the East Division, Florida and the Atlantic Division as those two try to figure out what's going on. So why don't we take a look at the full slate of games tomorrow? It's another triple header of SFL action, but it starts at 5 p.m. Eastern. Arizona and D.C. kicks us off. And, Mike, every single team that you see on the screen right now, all 12 of these teams are 3-4 or better. They're all in the mix. They are all in the thick of things, and it's going to make for a really fascinating evening.
Yeah, Cam, the first thing that stood out to me as soon as this graphic came up is that playoff implications and playoff positioning are all over the schedule tomorrow. The most intriguing game to me, I'll stay right there in the Atlantic and the East with Florida and Louisiana. Louisiana, as we talked about, if they win this game, they have really set themselves up to take control of the East Division, and Florida, they can maintain pace with Jacksonville with a win over there tomorrow. London and Sioux Falls, huge game for both of these teams. They're both sitting at 4-4. The winner of this game is gonna find themselves in a great spot for as head-to-head matchups and tiebreaker situation. And in that game, DC and Arizona is one of the teams at 3-4 that really need this victory at home over DC. And DC, they've been struggling the past few weeks, and they need this game as well. So, man, anywhere you look on this schedule tomorrow, huge implications as to what teams need to do down this final stretch to make the playoffs.
Florida, Louisiana, that game starts at 9. Sioux Falls, London, that's at 7:20. DC and Arizona, that's at 5. Lone Star's the number 4 seed coming into this week. Vancouver, the number 2 seed coming in. That game's at 7. At 5:20, Vegas and Queen City, they're both 3-4. That's a rematch from last season's wild card where Vegas upset Queen City in Buffalo. And then Mexico City wearing those Santa Fe Gorillas throwbacks tomorrow. I'm not sure they've ever lost in those, Mike, but they'll be taking on the high-flying San Diego Mavericks, who features Gunnar Lewis, who leads the league in receiving yards, 990, touchdowns 10, and targets 99. It's no bad game. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, that Mexico City defense and secondary, they're going to have their work cut out for them tomorrow. As you mentioned, Gunnar Lewis, the biggest free agent signing in this offseason, and he's performed as such for the San Diego Mavericks. And on the other side, he has plenty of help from Liam Hammer, his receiving corps mate over there. It's going to be a huge game tomorrow for those guys as well. Should be excitement all over the board tomorrow, Cam.
We'll see you then at 5 p.m. Eastern on the SFL family of networks, Twitch and YouTube. Next Saturday at 2:30, London and Arizona. That is a rematch of the playoffs last season, another wild card game. And then we got Vancouver and Los Angeles, last gasp for the Lycans. They've got to turn it around. If you can get a win over a team like Vancouver this late in the season, it rockets your tiebreaker strength up with strength of victory. And so it's basically all or nothing for the league's second largest market there in LA. So we'll see if the Lycans have any more fight left in them next week when they take on the league's number one team west of the Mississippi. Thanks to all of our broadcasters, our statisticians, everyone back at Master Control all throughout the day, and all of our production crew here at the Simulation Football League. For Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine. The SFL rolls on season 18, and we've got some exciting announcements to come before we hit the playoffs. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next weekend.